Well, solar started 1819. Actually, it was discovered by a French scientist, the photovoltaic effect. He was able to create energy using the sun and some elements that he put together. It didn't really progress that far from 1819 up until the early 1900s when Einstein did a lot of research on it. And then in the 1940s and 50s, it transitioned over to commercial application, agricultural application, where it was used on farms. They had to pump water. They couldn't bring electricity out to the sites where they were feeding their livestock, and they put up solar panels. So when the sun shone, it created energy and pumped water up to the surface or into a cistern or some type of unit to hold that water. It is now transitioned into homes consumption, but that is with the help of the government rebates and also tax credits from New York State and the federal government. For folks not familiar, I'm sure they've all heard the term solar panel. What exactly is a solar panel and what does it do? A solar panel consists of wafers. Basically, those wafers consist of sand mixed with boron and phosphorus, which creates electrons move and start flowing and are creating, and the sun basically breaks that electron free, and that is your electricity, and it flows within the system, and you power your home, and then the excess power goes out to the grid.
Now, why is solar energy suddenly taking off in 2015, 2016?
Well, you're seeing the incentives from NYSERDA reduce. There are blocks of...
What is NYSERDA?
NYSERDA is New York State Energy Research and Development Authority.
And their role in New York State?
Yes, they're the role in New York State. Everyone pays into NYSERDA. There's an SBC charge, which is a service benefit charge that actually it's SBC RPS charge, service benefit renewable portfolio standard charge on everybody's bill.
So that's on our national grid bill?
That is on your national grid bill. So everybody is paying into NYSERDA presently. And NYSERDA distributes these funds to help with energy efficiencies. There's lots of grants that are available through NYSERDA, but the solar is one that is actually going down. As blocks of money disappear, the incentive level per watt goes down. We then have the apparent ending of the federal income tax credit, or the reduction of the federal income tax credit from 30% to 10%. On January 1st of 2017, it'll be apparently ended. So there's a race to get these systems installed.
Why do you think solar energy is the preferential way to get power now as opposed to the traditional methods of getting power?
Well, it's clean, it's affordable, and a lot of people can put that energy up on their roofs.
Okay. What about residential solar? People putting it on their roofs?
Residential solar it's nice to have that energy at your house. You do have that New York State income tax credit and the federal income tax credit. You produce the energy on your roof or on land that you have and backfeed it into the grid. Backfeed it through your panel and into the grid.
And that is more economical than one having the traditional getting natural gas heat or oil heat?
Well, this is more used for the electricity, not the heating aspect.
Oh, really?
Well, some people do use it for heating if they have a geothermal heating system or a heat pump, that they're offsetting that electrical consumption.
Okay, so then getting solar energy, it primarily provides electric for your house, and unless you have electric heat, it doesn't really help you that much?
Well, the lights. You have lights,
right.
You have electrical equipment, you have washers,
Sure.
dryers, televisions that run on electricity, so you're offsetting that. And on average, an individual's electric bill ranges from $100 to $250, so quite substantial of a cost.
Now, besides residential solar, you also have commercial solar. You want to talk about that?
Well, commercial is the same, except for it's at a commercial location. One thing that we cannot do is take over the demand charge for commercial. We can reduce their consumption, but the demand is a charge that we cannot take away. That is something that will always be there for large businesses.
Now, you were telling me about community solar, and this allows anyone to buy solar that is located in a farm field or something. It's sort of a national grid substitute. You want to elaborate on that?
Well, this is, I guess you would call this a new revolution in solar. And you're going to see this come out over the next several years, where it's going to be a transition from people putting solar on their roofs to people owning a share or buying a certain amount of their energy from that solar farm. You don't have to have a good site. It can be, you can live in an apartment. You can live in a homeowners association. Or just as long as you are living in this territory where the solar farm is, and it's in, say for instance, national grid territory, you would be able to get your energy from that farm. A benefit to this is that we're not installing 20 panels on a person's home. We're installing 10,000 panels on a field. So our economies of scale kick in. We're able to install not at $4 a watt on a ground mount system at home, maybe down towards $2.50 in a field, making the payback decrease dramatically.
Do consumers of solar energy still have as a backup National Grid or New York State Electric and Gas, just in case it gets cloudy for a while?
Yes, they are in essence your battery. They provide you energy on a cloudy day at night, and you still get the benefits of a solar system, whether it's at your home or at a community solar project.
I know Syracuse, New York, people that are out there say the sun shines there 6 days a year, and the rest of the time it's cloudy.
Yes.
Are there geographic situations like that in the United States and around the world where it's really not practical to have solar energy?
Well, Germany, for instance, gets about 20% less sun exposure than we do here in the capital region. And I would say that probably equates to about Syracuse's sun that they receive each year. And Germany produces most of their energy from the sun during the day.
What state in the nation relies the most on solar energy? Where is it most popular?
Well, California to start. And
sunny California.
Yes, sunny California, Colorado, but New Jersey and New York are not far behind. And then we have our northeastern states. Our electricity cost is generally more expensive up here on a per kilowatt hour basis. So with the incentives and the grants, it is very appealing to go solar.
Why are we more expensive up here? Because of climate?
I think it's where the power plants are located. Down in Tennessee, they have the Tennessee Valley Authority, and they're producing energy for a lot less expensively than we are here.
Now, you were telling me the other day that I know right now the traditional electric grid, we get power from all over the country, but like we were talking, like Seattle, Washington wouldn't necessarily supply power to New York State. It's different. Mm-hmm. Would you explain the difference?
Well, we are with the solar, we are basically spreading out the production of energy, which is actually good for the utility companies. Mm-hmm. Those electrons are going to flow to, most likely if you have solar at your home, it's going to flow to your neighbor's house. There are places that we are getting our energy from, and we are transporting energy. For instance, in Quebec. Quebec is their dam up there. A lot of that power goes to New York City. So the high voltage lines that you see aren't carrying your household or your commercial power. They're transporting it distances to where it is most needed.
If someone viewing the program today is thinking about getting solar energy, what are the considerations, or what should they look at first?
Well, first they should look at their site and see if they have a good site. They can go
You mean their home?
Their home.
Right.
You can either step outside. If you know where south is, you look to the south and you say, do I have a good site? Am I open from 9 to 3? Is the roof that's being hit by the sun that I want to put solar on open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day of the year? If it's a ground area, is that the same? Is that area open? If that is, then it should be something that you should be considering. There is a payback. A utility company won't say, you have paid us enough money. You don't have to pay us any more after 15 years. But with solar, you can know that there is going to be an end date to my payments. If I take a loan out, I'm going to know that I finish paying that loan on January 1st, 2031. I'm done paying for my system. Or you pay for it in full. A lot of people will prepay it and just keep on paying it forward.
What is the cost for an average house of installing solar energy right now, or solar panels?
The average cost for a roof mount system would be in between $7,000 and $14,000 end cost after your tax credits and incentives.
Now, you were saying that with anything in this world, it's political. And I shared with you a story a few years ago. We were down in Washington, D.C., and we saw solar panels. I didn't know what they were at the time, and someone explained that the White House was now getting solar energy.
Yes.
And then there was a change in administrations, and the solar panels were pulled out, and they're back to the fossil fuel way of providing power to the White House. I want to talk about that.
Well, I guess it was politically driven. That there was outside influences probably that said we have secure oil now, and we don't really have to worry about this at this point.
Are you finding that there is a reluctance on the part of a lot of people to go with solar, and they want to stay with the traditional ways of getting power?
You know, I have a story I didn't tell you about, but it is quite interesting. Okay. 10 years ago, we would be out at events. People would come up to us, and there'd be some animosity, and we'd see it as they were walking up, that they were upset that we're out there promoting green energy, thinking that we are socialists. Not that socialist is bad, I don't think, but they would come at us, and we would say, well, we're doing this for America. We're doing this for our environment. We're doing this for for national security. This is something that makes we're producing something at home that we don't have to dig out of the ground or buy from another country that we might not have the greatest relations with. We'd usually calm them down. Some of them would walk away still upset, but now we have people coming up to us, and those that we would think we're not going to be, that we would think that we're going to have that animosity come up and are cheering what we're doing. We had one that I was sure he was wearing a Harley Davidson outfit, looked very tough, and I was like, oh wow, here's another that I'm going to have to calm down. And he came up and gave me the high five and said everybody should be doing this. So it really has moved in all aspects that most everybody likes this. And if they don't like it, they just haven't witnessed it yet or experienced somebody's home that is energy free.